And once again, Dom went out sad, okay? Not only did you win last season and got cheated on right after, but this season ruined your entire reputation. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about the perfect match. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website where you can find cute accessories like this lock and key combo right here, and as well as these earrings right here. Make sure you click that link down below or check out this QR code. We're having a sale right now, so don't miss out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So y'all, I did watch the first season of Perfect Match. I do feel like this show's a joke. Nobody's really gonna find love on here, like majority of these Netflix love shows. Okay, let's just be real. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not gonna talk about every single person on this show because every single person did not interest me. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the things of the show that interested me, that popped out, that I want to discuss. So first things first, the host is Nick. I prefer not to have him, but I'm forever grateful that Vanessa is not a part of this franchise. Now, going into this, I already know how Black women tend to be treated on this show. They don't tend to choose men, Black or non-Black, that are attracted to Black women. Either the Black women that are on this show, who tend to be beautiful, successful, have so much going for them, bring a lot of personality, they tend to either be used as placeholders. They use the women in order to be able to stay in the house, or they just don't even view them as an option at all. And I feel like as a result, if you are a Black woman that comes on this show, don't come in here really looking for love. You do the same thing they're doing to you. Use these men for screen time. Use them to stay in the house. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a huge platform, and I've seen this show in particular blow up some people. So I don't blame you for coming on here if you have that in mind. But as far as really finding love, I wouldn't do that. I just would not. So that brings me to Tolu. First of all, she is gorgeous, and she really is giving main character energy. She's coming in pretty much with the buzz cut, okay? But serving face. Beautiful big lips, nice body, gorgeous, beautiful, deep skin. I love that she stayed rocking African patterns and, you know, Africa jewelry, things like that. One of these idiots on here thought it was Antarctica. That just shows you the average IQ of the people that come on this show. But because I really do feel like Tolu was on the wrong show. First of all, let me just start off by saying she was on the wrong show. She too grown for a show like this. And my first initial reaction was, please get away from Izzy. Izzy turned my stomach when I saw that he walked in that house. I'm like, why are you here? He just feels like he's too old for this crowd. Like, he even said it, like, they're in their 20s and I'm in my 30s. Like, that's why you feel out of place, because you are. He's shorter than everybody. He just did not add up. He was. But then we see Micah come in and he's being thirsty over Micah, but Micah's not even giving him the time of day. She said she tired of the nerves and she shut him down twice. He got shut down twice, okay? But then she turned around and got shut down by the guy she wanted, and he straight up told her that she was his plan B. I was like, that karma hit her pretty fast, okay? Then we have Brighton, and in case y'all don't know, Brighton is from the Squid Game competition show, and I watched him on there. First of all, I'm not surprised that he was on this show because the girls were very thirsty over Brighton when he was first featured on Squid Games. And even though I could objectively say he's handsome, cute, whatever, it's something off about him. Some in the mouth area. Is it a lisp? And plus, that toxic hyper masculinity that he's constantly trying to give off, it's giving that he's trying to overcompensate for something. Now, you can fill in the blank of what you think that is, but it's something. I don't know why you feel inadequate as a man, but he is toxic masculinity personified. So he matched up with Dominique. She said from the beginning, oh, I'm interested in him. She made her interest known. At first, the little bickering and arguing that they were doing together, she thought that was cute. He told her that he doesn't feel like yoga is a real workout. He's the type to die on the hill like that. He feels like he's never wrong. He doesn't respect anyone else's opinion, especially if you're a woman. Okay, he's very condescending. At some point when they were competing together and they were trying to put their heads together in order to find the right strategy in order to win, he questions, well, what do you have a degree in? Trying to call her dumb, and she was like, I have a degree in engineering. And I would have to flip that back on him. Do you have a degree? Because if I'm remembering correctly from that other show, he didn't get a degree. So how dare you? She is more qualified to come up with an idea than you. He was going in so hard on her. He made that girl cry. She was liking that jerk behavior at first, but she quickly realized that he ain't new to this. He true to this. He ain't doing this just to be a villain on the show. He real life is rude. You know what I'm saying? So then there's a guy named Harry on the show. And the only reason why I'm talking about Harry at all is because he's very central to a lot of the drama that goes down. But he has 3 exes that have been on Perfect Match alone. But he made it very clear that he slept with half of the Netflix universe of women. And I thought that was so disgusting. I was like, you really said that? And then it turns out the winner from last season cheated on Dom with him. And he just dropped that like it was nothing. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to figure out, because I'm looking at him. Yeah, he's super tall. It got to be the height. Got to be the height. Got to be the height. What? Got to be the height. Because he has a very childish, immature frat boy sense of humor, something that is like, I didn't laugh once. None of that was cute. I don't know how anybody would even want to be with him unless you just want screen time, because you guaranteed some with him. So he ended up with this girl or whatever, and they won the first competition. So they were able to choose who goes out on a date. It turns out Dom was one of the choices to go on the date. Mind you, like I said, Dom won last year. Harry slept with the girl that he won the game with last year, and yet somehow they're besties. There's so many red flags with Dom. That was just the first one. Why did they think it would be a good idea to match Tolu with Dom? You know that is not his type. You know Dom don't like black girls. We have already found this out last season. He'd rather get dogged out by Botox Barbie than ever be caught dead with a black woman. But on these shows, they just love putting black people together. You know what I'm saying? They just do that just to do it. I also feel like they were just trying to make sure Dom got in the house. And let me just say this about Dom. I know he was a fan favorite last year. Everybody felt bad for him because he was crying in the rain or whatever. I never saw it for him. So he goes on this date with Tolu. She was getting romance vibes from him. I don't know how, because he was acting very platonic. I do feel like he was playing up his personality a lot because he wanted to have that option of using her to stay in the house. I don't think he was ever attracted to her. She couldn't catch the vibe. She could not see through that, and was very excited and even bragging on the fact that they had such a great connection at first date. And she goes on to do that throughout the rest of the episodes, and I'm just like, you must didn't watch last season, girl. I'm like, you gonna regret this. You gonna regret it. Don't even. And then she's telling him as well. I'm like, we don't brag to the men about it. No. I was hoping that she was just using him to play the game, because if you bring in a fan favorite like Dom, you can get a lot of screen time, but I think she actually liked him. What do they see in Dom? The same way that, what do y'all see in Harry? What do y'all see in Dom? Because the personality ain't there. He just tall. What is it? The dreads? Like, I don't get it. Like, he's kind of boring. And then he also has this very childish, yuck humor. Like, I don't get it. He claims he likes her, but I feel like he matched with her only because nobody else was giving him the time of day. The only good thing that came out of that is they got Izzy up out of there. Because I was ready for him to go, child. I was like, good riddance. Not only did they send Tolu on a date, they sent Dominique on the date, which had Brighton sweating the whole day. He was trying to put up a front like, oh, I ain't worried. Whoever they bring in ain't gonna have nothing on me. But as soon as the other guy came in, he was sweating real bad. He was a little worried, nervous, and shook. Because he kept talking about he want to win, he want to be competitive. But he cannot put his ego down in order to, he can't even fake it. He can't even pretend like he has any sort of respect for this woman. He ends up getting into it with the other guy. They go back and forth. I don't know. I feel like she would have still chosen him regardless had he not made her cry. You know what I'm saying? Had he actually been a little bit nice. If he actually felt like he could treat her like a human being, I feel like she would have went with him. But literally, his own ego caused him to have to leave. And I was glad to see him go too. I just hate when people feel like they could treat others like trash for no reason. Like, who are you? So then they have the kissing contest, which, y'all, I don't understand this. I don't understand how y'all are okay with kissing every person in the house back to back like that. Shout out to Xanthi because she did not participate, and I don't blame you, girl. We don't know what y'all got. Y'all over here kissing back to back, mouth to mouth, tongue to tongue. And Tolu the entire time, she's talking about how she knows she's embarrassing her parents, how she knows she's going to hear from them whenever they see this. Micah, who is now with Cass, they end up setting up Jessica with Harry. Mind you, Harry is with someone else. They act like they're the old married couple of the house. Micah, in particular, knew she was shaking the table, matching him up with Jessica because Jessica was his type. Mind you, Jessica was just on the last season of Love is Blind. Personally, I truly feel like Jessica just wants to be on TV. She's clout chasing. She's really a try hard. That whole read last season, you're gonna need an EpiPen when you finally see me, that never impressed me. It felt like a rehearsed read. It didn't feel like something she just said on the spot. Nothing about her is authentic or genuine to me. A lot of people feel like she's a producer plant. And they specifically put her on Love is Blind so that she could eventually be on this show. I could totally see that being the case because I feel like her goal is just to have screen time. With her Gypsy Rose sound itself, if y'all close your eyes and listen to Gypsy Rose speak and then listen to her speak, they have the exact same voice. So when he sees her and they start talking, he completely forgot about the other girl that he was with. And even after hearing that Jessica has a child, you know, he's just completely enamored in lust for Jessica. When he's talking to Jessica, he's completely downplaying the relationship he has in the house. But when Jessica gets in the house, the girls all sit her down and they tell her the truth that they thought that whatever he had with the blonde hair girl, they thought it was the real deal. Once they told Jessica that, they went and told Elise what he said. And she was more mad at Micah for setting him up with Jessica than she was at him. Once she sees that he's not really mingling with her anymore, she goes and confronts him. And it's like, girl, what did you expect? You told him yourself, you knew he had a bad reputation and you wanted to match up with him as well. I don't know why these girls think they're going to be the special pretty little princess. A dog gonna be a dog, okay? They gonna get to barking and they gonna get to woofing. She's like telling him how much she's betrayed him. He was just laughing and playing all in her face. Like he really dogged her out in that moment. He didn't have any sort of sympathy or he was not apologetic in any way. He didn't feel bad and he got up and left her sitting there looking stupid. Unfortunately, but you should have already known what you were signing up for. But then he want to be crying about how he want people to take him seriously, and you're doing the exact same things you always do. So then Jessica confronts him. I will not be the graveyard of relationships that were ruined by being associated with you. Girl, another rehearsed read. It did not land. It did not hit. I don't know. Like, Jessica, if you were truly looking for a decent partner or you were as strict as you're acting like you are, with what you tolerate, you wouldn't even be entertaining him at all. So I don't even want to hear what she got to say about that. Like, you act like you got so much to lose, but then you're on Perfect Match dealing with Harry. That's your perfect match. Once a girl named Alana came in the house, she's one of those racially ambiguous British girls. As soon as she came in the house, Dom switched up on Tolu real fast. He was like, oh, I just don't want to make the same mistakes I made last year. By doing the exact same thing you did last year, you're passing up someone who actually likes you for the non-black woman of your dreams, who ain't checking for you for real. He goes over there, he's flirting with her, way more flirtatious than he's ever been with Tolu, smiling and grinning, laughing and joking. I ain't see him do this one time with Tolu, but Alana's entertaining it because I feel like she wants to leave her options open, but I don't really think she's truly interested in him. Later on in the episode, she says she's interested in men with pointed noses, and it's like, she definitely ain't talking about you. But I knew as soon as an exotica walked in, he was gonna drop her. But Steven messed up his situation, came in, swooped her up before he really got a chance, stole her from Dom. He got played, and he had to go back and tuck his tail and get Tolu so he could stay in the house another night. And at some point he was like, she wants me, why wouldn't she? Nasty work. I wish she would have never given him the time of day. I cannot. Ooh, that made me so sick to my stomach. I treated her like a consolation prize. A jerk. Why did he come back on this show? Because you left the last season a fan favorite and you ruined it all this season. So then they played another game that kind of exposed Jessica as a gold digger. I don't blame her for having standards. She said she would never date someone that wasn't wealthy. But I don't know. It makes sense why she's with Harry, because he said he made $100,000 off OnlyFans. So I see why you cuddling up next to him. Dom and Tolu ended up winning, right? And he was not excited at all. She was jumping up and down, excited. And he snipped there, melancholy, doesn't want to crack a smile, just being very standoffish towards her. So when you win, you get to go on a date. He's acting the same exact way on the date. He's not giving her any energy at all. And then he starts very much pushing her to go on a date. Instead of matching one of the other couples up with someone, he wants her to go on a date, letting her know he's no longer interested in wanting to be matched up with her. Finally, she saw through the facade, because I feel like she just saw what she wanted to see with Dom. She kept talking about the first date and how good it was, but girl, he was playing you. Did he act like that at all in the house? You keep talking about the first date. He ain't act like that since. I want you to open your eyes and realize that. I also wanted him to just be real and say it with your chest. Instead of being iffy of whether you want to be with her, you're just doing that to keep your option open with her. You don't like black women. Just be honest and say that. Just be real. I think a lot more people would respect that than you leading people on. So then they go to the boardroom where they had to choose people to go on a date, and he confronted her on there being tension between them. And, he's gaslighting like he's not the one acting different in this situation. And she's just straight up called him out for playing her from jump. She was like, you never wanted to be with me and you played me. She said that she refused to be a pawn in his game. And y'all, I loved it. It was something so cathartic about her actually just saying it to his face, not pulling any punches. Like, Tolu is probably the most authentic person there. Like, she really is saying what's on her mind, how she feels. She ain't holding back. And I appreciate her not letting him just get off the hook and not just being passive about that. And, risking playing the angry black woman role, because that could easily have been flipped on her. But she didn't care. She let him have it, and he deserved every bit of it. And he really did try to flip the narrative on her later and I don't know why she was going in on me. I don't know why she was so mad. You know exactly why. You're a jerk, and everybody saw it. I'm so glad that people see straight through him now, and he hopefully doesn't get that support from black women that he was having. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it because he doesn't respect us. So she chose to go on a date with Jacob from The Ultimatum, which she really didn't have that many good options, okay? So I guess. Meanwhile, there's a guy back in the house named Chris, and he's been telling people in the house that he was attracted to Tolu. There's a point in time where they were playing Truth or Dare, and he ended up giving her a lap dance and dared her to kiss him, and they had this passionate kiss. Obviously, she was done with Dom. She wasn't giving him the time of day. She was thinking about Jake until he put his foot in his mouth. I forgot what he said, but she already had a low tolerance for people playing her, so she wasn't gonna entertain him any longer, so she went ahead and matched with Chris. Then this is where we see Dom approach Laura, and he's pouring his heart out to the girl, acting like, oh, I'm tired of, putting everybody else first. I was trying to spare Tolu's feelings, but I have to go with what I actually want. No, you were using her to stay in the house. He ended up getting his face cracked because he did not get chose. She decided to stick around with the same white boy she was there with before, and he ended up sitting up there looking stupid. Every non-black woman you have gone after, you have gotten played. Why did you think this time would be any different? Like, why are you surprised? And so, out of desperation, he comes running after Elise and trying to get matched with her, but she's like, you've never even had a conversation with me before this, and she's really not gonna keep you in because you're friends with Harry. And once again, Dom went out sad. Okay, not only did you win last season and got cheated on right after, but this season ruined your entire reputation. He's mad that he gotta leave, and he's lashing out on Harry, putting him on blast, basically saying he's not genuine, and I guess trying to say he's doing all this just to be on TV. And so now Jessica, that made Jessica go like, that made her perk up, even though, girl, that's exactly why you here too. Stop. She just wanted a storyline for the night. So she confronts him about him being genuine, and he runs away crying. All this was fake to me. Him running away, crying in the room, her showing up, putting her arm around him, crying. I need to see the tears. I don't believe it, because we saw all of this from a security cam. I don't believe there was no real tears in the room. They have another game. Steven and Alara win, and they're in the boardroom. They're in charge of setting up the dates. Why are they trying to break up Chris and Tolu? They think he's only with her in order to stay in the house. Which, why is that? Because I don't know. He very well could be doing that. Even when he first said that he was interested in Tolu, they were just acting, whoa, shocked, like, really? Like, he couldn't possibly be attracted to her. Why is that? Why do y'all feel that way? They ended up matching him up with Melinda, which I remember Melinda. I believe it was from Too Hot to Handle. That's probably the only season of that show I ever watched, y'all. I'm ashamed to even say that. It turns out that Melinda hosted the show that Chris was first featured on. She was coming out very strong towards him, and he was seemingly receptive. I think maybe he was attracted to her, but I think the connection that he had with Tolu was a little bit stronger. And also, Melinda was coming off as if she was just using him in order to stay in the house. That's the way it was coming off. So maybe he was feeling that and saw that I'd rather be with someone that I know is loyal and that would choose me every time. That way I can have options, because he did end up choosing to stay with Tolu that night. She hopped on him, gave him a big old wet smacker on the lips. Melinda was, I ain't never seen Melinda like that. Melinda was mad. This man didn't even do nothing to her, really. Yeah, because, she came in there cocky. Her and the other new girl, they came in there cocky, like, we gonna come in here and steal these men. We gonna, and got shot down. Just like Melinda said, these women had these men on the leash, okay? And I'm not mad at it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.